Welcome to the Baseball Together podcast with your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Briggy Blue Eyes. And now, Baseball Together.
Baseball family, welcome to this week's episode of the Baseball Together podcast. My name is Brad, and I'm here with our guy, Mr. Brig, in his new Bees hat, because that's where he was last week when he was elsewhere. Brig, it's a sick hat. And how are you?
Thanks, buddy.
Other than wearing a fantastical hat.
I'm good, thanks. I have two, actually. This is my one of two new ones I will be debuting on the show here soon, so I'm very excited about it. How are you?
They have that in I'm good. They have that all black.
I think they do. There were plenty. They had way more hats there than they've ever had.
Really?
It's
a new ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, aside from maybe obviously the seating, this is Salt Lake Bees for everybody who's wondering. Aside from the seating capacity and that missing that second layer of decking around the outfield and then the third deck if you would have put one in, it's a major league facility. Almost everything about it screams big league ball. It is awesome. One of the because you go to AAA ball clubs and I feel like the disparity in quality is vast. Yeah, it's not a consistent experience. So I went to a Jumbo Shrimp game down in Jacksonville earlier this spring for spring break with the kids, and that's AAA facility, and it was very different. I know they've been around a lot longer. That ballpark's a lot older, but it was just a different experience. And you can tell when certain things are modernized, and you can tell when certain things aren't. That's one thing you can look for. But the other things you can look for are good decision making. Like the Bees, it was thoughtfully done. There were lots of really good decisions made. Whether and they'll hold up for 20 years. They just will.
Even their old ballpark though was well thought out, I feel like, because I remember Todd Helton said one time, he's like, if you put an upper deck, if you put a third deck on that ballpark and put some actual stands out in the outfield, you'd have a ballpark with the best view in baseball, or a big league ballpark with the best view in baseball, because it was right there downtown with the mountains just right there in the background. Is the view as good? Probably not as good, but still
it's
good.
It's farther away than
it's really far west, so it's farther from that east bench,
from that sharp mountain range. But it faces the same direction. Still points. It's home plate still points right at the mountains. So there was nothing bad about it. I thought it was spectacular, and they retained some of that cool Rocky Mountain air. The outer. So the upper deck on the outward facade of the ballpark, so where home plate would be from on approach, you're approaching the ballpark. It's all done in brick. It's very nice. But then the outward facade at that upper deck is a sheet metal design with punctures in it, like holes, like a relief almost. And it's you can see the mountainscape that they've done depending on how far apart and how wide the holes are. It was quite cool. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then while we were there and the sun was going down, if you turned around and you could see it through certain parts of the grandstands, then you got it from the other side, and it's even better. So
that's cool. That's really cool.
It was neat. It was, see what I mean? It's like just one little teeny thing, this big art piece that wraps around the concourse. It was neat. It was cool. The whole thing was cool.
That's really cool. I'll have to see if I can get out there. So we've been talking about going back up there to visit family and stuff. I don't know if or when it's going to happen. But anyway, baseball family, Brig is back. That's the most important thing I think we're taking away from all of this.
Okay.
Is that
wow.
He's back in town. He's back on the show. So here we are. So let's get into it. But real quick before we do that, we want to remind you about Chinook Seeds. Brig, seed of the week for me, Parmesan Pep.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That's right. You can get your own Parmesan and pepper from ChinookSeedery.com. Use code BTPod to save 10% off your order. Did you get the email last week about the bucket of seeds?
Yep.
Comes with 72 samplers, just like this size. If you're not watching, it's this big. And it comes with 72 of them. You can mix and match. And
if you're not watching, it's this big.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Brig, if you wanted to, you could order a bucket of 72 packs of Parmesan Pep and just have yourself a grand old time. and you can save 10% on your order with BT Pod. So there you go.
That's the best part.
We're going to stick with things for you, though, Brig. We're going to talk about your Yankees first and foremost, because things are weird in the Bronx right now. The Yankees are 9-13 since the All-Star break, just 2-7 in August. You know who else is 2-7 in August, Brig?
Pittsburgh.
The friggin' Rockies are 2-7 in August. You don't want to ever be mentioned in the same breath as the 2025 Rockies. Unless it's like the Blue Jays and you set records with hits and runs and scores and whatever, right?
When you're in Coors, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Since June 1st, the Yankees are 27-34. Just a little bit of a reference in the East. The Orioles are 30-29 in that time. And the Orioles have been dead and buried for weeks, months.
Yeah, I know.
Yet, here we are. Aaron Boone on Sunday got thrown out for the 5th time this year. I'm beginning to wonder, and I think was wondering, if the tirades actually do anything for this team. They say sometimes a manager will get thrown out to help fire up the team, get guys motivated. But at this point, it just seems like he's grumpy and has an anger issue. Right?
He's grumpy. Yeah. Wouldn't you? That's my question.
I would be grumpy.
But I'd be really grumpy.
But still, like I would also feel like I've got to be here to try to help these guys make decisions because they don't seem like they can make them themselves.
I mean,
it's almost like he just doesn't want to be in there. And I know 5 times in 110 games or something like that is not a lot. It's not. But at the same time, though, it's the most in Major League Baseball.
Well, and it might continue to be the most if he just keeps doing it. Like, I think sometimes it's like this strategic getting tossed thing that managers do. I think that happens. I think sometimes he's just genuinely upset at the call or whatever, and he takes an opportunity to just purge, just clear the mechanism. He's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out there and rail on this poor guy or whatever behind the plate. It's not his fault. I mean, I can blame it on this guy right now, but it's not his fault.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if managers ever talk to umpires after the game, be like, hey, man, it's a brutal stretch right now. You just happen to be on the tracks.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. It's nothing personal.
But
call David Sampson and ask him if that's how it goes.
We should, yeah. We should ask.
You see what I did there?
But yeah, it's good. But what's going on with your Yankees, Brig? Have you seen anything? Can you point your finger at anything or any ideas that might be causing problems here?
No, and do you remember when? Let's see. So for the last couple of years, I've been saying that something stinks, right? Something's rotting and under the bleachers and whatever.
Yeah.
How they were able to pull it together to get to the World Series last season is a little bit boggling my mind. And I said that when it was happening. I was like, I don't get it. Like, this is great. I'm happy about it, but I'm not sure. Don't understand. And then those first 2 games, like they hung in there way better than they should have last year in the World Series. So I think it's weird that whatever it is now present. I think it's more visible since the All-Star break, but I think it's been there since before then. Aaron Judge started to go downhill fast, way before the All-Star break anyway. And people were like, nah, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. He'll get some, rest at the break and he'll go yuck it up with his buddies or whatever people were saying. It hasn't helped at all. So I think there's a couple of things. I think the Yankees are overly tied to their roster management system. And I think that when guys come back who are healthy, quote, healthy, after a rehab stint or some time on the IL, they come back and they're like, yeah, but it's our big money guy. Like, okay, but the guy you brought up to fill the hole is outperforming not only our expectations, but then the guy comes back off the IL and starts, and it is dimmer than the dude who you brought up to fill the gap. So I don't know how to solve that problem at the big league level. I don't understand. I think there's got to be a level of accountability for the front office. There's got to be a level of accountability for the veterans. there's got to be a level of accountability on the player development guys, because they've got to be rewarded. These players have to be rewarded for coming in to those big shoes, like when Stanton goes down or when Rizzo went down or whatever. You got to be able to say, way to go, pal, and here's your, instead of, oh, Stanton came back, or whoever. I'm just picking on Stanton right now. And then they say, well, see, here's your ticket back to Scranton for a while. We hope nothing happens. It's like, what? So, okay, there's that. But then you think about Didi Gregorius, his receipts are now being, flapping in the breeze these days, because he said that when he was with the Yankees and did some rehab stuff, that it said it was something like, it shocked him at how fundamentally flawed the gameplay was and the development was at the lower levels during his rehab assignments. And that was years ago. Yeah. So now what we're seeing is sloppy. It's embarrassing, sloppy play. So much so that I've now heard some people speculating that the Yankees must simply be gambling on baseball. That there's no way. Yeah, I've heard this. It's not widely proliferated opinion, and I'm not sure this is how I feel. But there's no way that you're this bad without a motive is the idea. That's what people are starting to wonder. And not to go from participating in the World Series and holding your own for at least those 2 games, and then game 5, the first half of it or whatever, but then to this in 6 months? Like, no, because right now you're right. They're playing like the Rockies.
Yeah, they're right there with them. And, I was really hopeful. I was cheering hard for your Yankees, Brig, this weekend, because they're playing the Astros. And the Mariners swept the Rays, and I was like, that's an opportunity. Like, they picked up a game on them this weekend.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Because the Yankees couldn't throw the ball. They couldn't catch the ball. You got 3 of them. Sorry, trying not to get pissed. You got 3 people converge to shallow outfield right behind the clay. Oh, I'm getting popping hot. They go, all of it staring and looking, and the ball falls right in front of him. And Cody Bellinger comes in, and he tries this weirdo quarterback off his back foot thing, and he throws it, and the ball goes whoop. It's like somebody put Vaseline on his damn fingers, and it flew the opposite direction, like the time Brother Harper tried to throw his helmet at the pitcher when he charged the mound. That's what happened. Only Cody Bellinger looks like, it's no big deal, because Cody Bellinger, he's floating on cloud 9 half the time or whatever. He's got those puffy eyes, can't figure out where he is or something. I'm not trying to point fingers, but my goodness, why is it that Trent Grisham is the most consistent member of this offensive team ever? Always. And then, what kills me is that Yankees fans everywhere are like, get rid of Grisham. We need somebody better. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's the only one doing anything.
Welcome back, Brig.
Thanks. Thank you. I don't understand. I'm so angry. I'm trying to be cool about it. Maybe that's why I'm exhausted, because it's so much work to try and keep it all in. But these guys, dude, they are playing like bums right now, and they're not bums. And the guys they brought in on the trade deadline are supposed to step up and really do well. They were supposed to right the ship, to give us a little bit of that reset button. And you know what has happened? It's all getting worse. It is actively, progressively metastasizing into awful. It's not just bad. Now it's disgusting, and it stinks, and the whole thing stinks, and I'm pissed.
So I have one more question for you. This is something I was thinking about the other day before we move on. Jason Dominguez.
Yeah.
The Martian. One of the coolest names in baseball, by the way.
Agreed. Wish that were all it took to be good at baseball.
Right. That's what I'm going to... Like, he came up when he was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And with tons of hype, right? Because the dude's supposed to be a beast. Do you think they stunted his development by bringing him up, and that's part of the problem. Is what we're seeing is not just with Dominguez, but it's like you said, it's a systemic problem that they're not teaching things the way that they should have been taught, top to bottom in the minor leagues. And there was somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody was talking about how they were in spring training, and this was what, last year, 2 years ago. They were in spring training, their first spring training at the Yankees, and they were like, "You should be swinging this way or doing this way because of the statistics say so." And he's like, "No."
Right.
Like,
yeah,
is Jason Dominguez just like a microcosm of the problems of the systemic problems within the Yankees?
I think probably. I don't know. I have to look at every single thing, but that's as at this point we're just gonna point fingers wherever we want, Brad, because it's all bad. We're probably gonna strike gold no matter which vein we follow. It doesn't matter. The whole thing is just ugly and it's stupid. And look, all of these people who are like, well, if George Steinbrenner was alive, he'd be rolling. Blah, blah, blah. That's true. He would be. But George Steinbrenner never had to deal with a luxury tax that we have to deal with now. And George Steinbrenner, it was a different era of baseball.
I don't think he would care. I think he would have the cone approach.
I agree.
I don't think he would care.
But what I'm saying
even if he did operate within the confines of the luxury tax, he would find ways to make sure that they were winning still. Boone would be long gone.
Listen here. Let me tell you something about
Cashman
Boone,
would be long gone.
Yeah, but Cashman is still a success story. I know he's probably overdue, but he still is a success story. If we're going to look back on the Cashman era, if it ended today, we would look back on the Cashman era and say it was magnificent until the very end. Should it end today? Probably. I'm not saying it shouldn't end today. I'm saying
you texted me the day.
Don't let the story get worse.
Joe Torre was
That's
let
what I
go
was going to
after
say.
7 years. Okay, go ahead.
No. Joe Torre was let go after 7 years and he had too many seasons in a row where he did not win a championship and they cut him loose. He had 4 championships with the Yankees. 4. And he got to 7 years and they said, "You're done. We haven't seen you win." Boone is in his 8th season. He's been to 1 World Series. 1.
Mm-hmm.
Go away.
Yeah.
Start over. Do something else. I don't know. You don't even need to start over. I don't even know what the problem is. You go dig out the septic tank that is the development program. That's the first thing you do. You drain that, scrub it out, maybe replace the whole thing. And then what you do is you get a front office switch around a little bit. And if that starts with Cashman, great. That's fine. I
think it does.
It has to, though, because he's been there for 25 years or whatever it is. So if you're going to do a restructuring of the front office, it has to start with Cashman. But then after that, it's a total approach difference. And whomever they bring in as the general manager needs to be able to tell Hal to put it away or pull it out when it's time, not when Hal thinks it's time.
Yeah, that's
going to be hard.
Yeah.
I don't know who they're going to find to do that.
I don't know, but I think that is where it starts, though. I think it starts with Cashman's job because
it has to.
It's top to bottom. It's
literally top to bottom. Yeah, I agree.
You've got to figure out a way to fix that and get things headed in the right direction. Now, as a non-Yankees fan,
yeah,
I'm sure there are a lot of Yankees fans out there just laughing all the way to the bank because their teams, like especially in the AL East, they're like, "No, don't do anything. It's working great for us."
Look, Baltimore, like you pointed it out, Baltimore, who has had every nail and all the way around the coffin for weeks now. And they, over the same stretch since June 1st, are 30-29 is what you said. The Yankees have been 27-34. What? Be done. Like, okay, look, begin being done now. Get as far as you can. Make it to the playoffs or not. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. We'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Cannot believe I'm saying this out loud. Oh, okay. I'm so mad. We should be done with this.
We'll come back. All right, let's talk about Ohtani.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah.
Ohtani has reached 1,000 hits in his career. It doesn't feel like he's been around long enough to do that, Brig, but he has been, because he made his debut in the 2018 season. It's weird that because he missed so much time with Tommy John, and between pitching and hitting, it felt like, I don't know, and just being in Anaheim, let's be honest.
Yeah.
That it felt like there was a lot that we missed with him. So his 1,000th hit came on, what day was that? The other day? It's done over this weekend. His 39th home run.
It was the weekend.
Right now he has 41. So it was a bit ago.
Yeah.
But he is only the third Japanese-born player, MLB player, with the 1,000 hits. The others are Ichiro, who has over 3,000, by the way. Matsui has 1,253, and Ohtani with now 1,000 plus. He's the fourth active Dodger. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Teoscar Hernandez all have 1,000. And by the way, he stretched out to 4 innings pitched, and last time he got 8 strikeouts.
Bingo.
So Ohtani's
Prodigal
back.
son has returned. Yeah,
he has. By the way, did you see that stretch that he went on after the All-Star break, where it was
of course
starting with the first game, but the second game back from the break, he went 5 games in a row and hit a home run.
Yeah,
and then he went and he didn't, and then he went and he did, and then he had a little bit of a stretch where he didn't, and then over the last 4 games, he's homered 3 times. So look out, Cal Raleigh. Because suddenly Ohtani is hot on your heels.
Hey, now. They're not even in the same league. Leave it alone.
It doesn't matter.
No, I know.
I want to see Cal lead MLB in home runs this year. That's what I want to see. But
I know you.
Ohtani's just going to catch fire in the last month and a half. But
well, he always does, it seems.
It's a wild, crazy thing.
And we're watching Cal do this thing that we are all waiting for. Just like, it can't possibly continue this way. That's the prevailing thought.
Well, so it didn't for a little while. Like after the All-Star game, a bunch of Mariners fans were like, I wish he hadn't done the home run derby. It's like, well, okay, but since the break, the Mariners are winning a bunch of games. And then suddenly this weekend, he starts going Yahtzee again. And it's back. I mean, he homered in every game over the season, or over the series, over the weekend series against the Rays.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So he's back. Thank goodness.
Yeah, he's definitely back. Yeah.
Here's your weekly Just How Bad Are the Rockies update. I think we should do this every week, right?
Yeah, good idea.
Coming into Monday, they're 30-87, 2-7, like I said, in August, 2-8 in their last 10. Currently on a 7-game losing streak. That's not good for those of you keeping track. And they were swept by the Blue Jays and the Diamondbacks during that losing streak. They're outscored 25-12 in Arizona this weekend, Brig. It's an improvement over how things went against the Blue Jays, but, still not good.
True. You're not wrong.
The run differential continues to drop, though. It's at minus 304. The next worst team in Major League Baseball is the Nats with minus 143.
It's doubled.
More than doubled by a significant amount.
Doubled. Holy cow.
Last year, Brig, the Rockies finished with minus 247. You want to know what the White Sox finished with last year? Minus 306.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to get way worse. It's going to be so bad. Like,
jeez.
Right now, the Rockies are on pace to tie the last year's White Sox with 121 losses.
Yeah.
I think that's more likely this year. Yeah. It's going to be really close. But their negative run differential is going to blow last year's White Sox out of the water.
Yeah.
They will continue to get blown out by lots and lots. And it's going to be so bad. It's just crazy, man.
Let me ask you this question. Let's say you play for the Rockies. You're not a pitcher, you're a position player. Are you upset that you're on the Rockies, or is this such a relief? You do not have to go out there and win every day. You do not have to go out there and there's no expectation other than to continue to play fundamentally sound baseball as much as you're able, to continue to hit the cutoff man, to just take good at bats, just work the count. You know what I mean? Like really little small fundamental stuff. And then you get to prove yourself and maybe get out of there. Maybe the franchise turns around, whatever. I'm asking this rhetorically because I know my opinion, but what do you think?
So for me, like, it'd be hard. Like, I think it would be easier because you're getting paid. Like, I remember as when I was younger, I played on really good teams. I played on some really bad teams. And it was always really hard going from the good teams to the bad teams and being like super motivated to go out there and just do your thing. You're like, I would, right? Because that's what you want to do. You want to go out there and do the best you can. But then it's like you go 3 for 3 of the couple of doubles, and then you get shut out because you get stranded on second twice, right? It's like,
yeah.
That is really frustrating. And I think for a while, like, I think the guys coming into the season, a lot of them, especially the young guys, are like, I'm just happy to be in the big leagues, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then I think it gets to the point where, like, this team's not very good. Am I the problem? Well, I don't know. I'm going out there doing the best I can. And apparently that's not good enough right now. And as a collective unit, it's not good enough, right? And I think eventually it does get to the point where it's really wearing. But I think you've got to have a team psychologist on, like, on staff, right?
Yeah.
To help guys just be like,
seriously,
you're where you want to be. Is the situation not good?
Supposed to be. It's okay.
It's not. But you wanted to be in the big leagues, and sometimes this is part of it. Yeah. Right? Like, I think you've got to have somebody there to help remind them, like, just go do the best that you can every single day. And sometimes most of the time, almost every day, it's not going to be good enough. But just do the best that you can.
I just had I think it's a tiered approach to that sort of level of resilience. I think if you're a rookie, like you said, I'm just happy to be here. This is really cool. There's Aaron Judge. That's Ohtani. Look at Freddie Freeman or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's taking exciting. The John
Fisher approach.
Yeah.
You just want to see anybody.
We're just here to watch these guys hit bombs. And then, so I think that's part of it. I think that then you've got that next level up of, like, that, younger veteran or early professional. And they're really bothered. They're not quite sure they're the problem, but it sticks in their craw. They're like, maybe, but they can go look at their own data sets and either dispel or encourage that thought pattern however they want. Then you've got the guys who've been in the league for plenty of time. They know what's going on. They've probably been on a couple other teams, or they've hopped up and back from AAA to the bigs a handful of times. And those guys are really quiet right now. I'm sure they're just like, whatever. I don't know.
like Orlando Arcia, for example. It's just like, dude.
He's like, all I can do is what I can do. And I'll either get out of this mess as a collective, or I'll get out of here on a trade, or something will happen. It doesn't matter. All I can do is focus on me. Yeah.
Well, and part of it, I think, too, is like somebody like Orlando Arcia. It kind of is the Andrew McCutchen response, I think, when he signed with the Phillies.
Right. Yeah.
Like, why'd you sign with the Phillies? Did you see how much money they offered me?
Yeah.
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 Very cool. Just go out there and do your job. Like, you might hate it, but there's a definitive end date.
Here's the thing, though. I keep seeing these young guys come up and start strong with the Rockies, right? They're rookies. They come out, they're getting their debut within the first handful of weeks of their careers this season. They're like doing, this or that, and they got their friggin' first thing ever or whatever. Like, it's all that stuff is really cool, right? And I think those guys are at the biggest at-risk population, I guess, on big leaguers right now. Are hotshot rookies in the Rockies system that make their debut, because they come up and they're like, we can turn this around. I've seen this before. I've done this before. It's like, nobody's seen this before. Nobody's done it. Your charisma doesn't have anywhere near the juice you think it does. But we're glad you're here. Please don't get too bothered when it doesn't happen.
Could
Okay.
you imagine just like the glares some shiny rookie gets coming in making his major league debut, first day in the clubhouse, just so happy to be there, bag over his shoulder, going to his locker like, go sit down, shut up, Rook, we don't want to hear it.
Shut
I will
up.
smack that smile off your face.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You
There
have
is
BP
no
scheduled for
in this
later?
clubhouse.
Yeah, that's right. You ever been hit by a pitch in BP? I'm about to. I'll show you. It happens.
It's gonna happen.
It's rare.
All right, last thing, Andruw Jones. There's a name we haven't mentioned in a spell.
Yeah. Not since last time we talked about how he should be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that was the last time.
All right.
He was just named the manager of the Netherlands World Baseball Classic team. For those of you who don't know, baseball is like kind of big in the Netherlands. And part
Curacao.
of it, I was going to say part of it is Curacao. Yeah. There's a lot of guys like Ozzy Albies comes from Curacao and plays in the WBC. He was the coach for the Netherlands team in 17 and 23 tournaments.
He was on their coaching staff for sure.
Yeah, was it 2-2 in the last pool of play in the last World Baseball Classic?
Yeah, in Taiwan. Yeah, last time in 23, they were in Taiwan. That's right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other guys who were on that team. I can't think off the top of my head, but they have some surprising names on that team though. Like you go watch the Netherlands, and you're like, oh dang, yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see. That's a team that I always pay attention to.
Well, we just talked about Didi Gregorius a minute ago. He's from Curacao.
He was he was there too.
That's a great example, you know.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Andruw Jones is longtime Brave, also a short-time Yankee, right? I think he played for the Dodgers for a little bit too, but he's a 10-time Gold Glover, 5-time All-Star. Other guys on the Netherlands team, Cedon Rafaela, has he committed? Is he going to be on the?
He committed
on the Netherlands team. That's awesome. Ozzy Albies, like I said, Xander Bogaerts is another one.
Committed. Yep.
Very cool. Have you seen that picture of Ozzy Albies as a kid with Andruw Jones?
Yeah, it's so awesome.
It's so cool.
Talk about heartwarming.
And I love that. Yeah, it is, and I love is it Ozzy Albies just like so scared. I don't know what to do.
You know, some kids get that picture when they have that look when they're at Santa Claus at the mall or whatever. And they're like, I have to be good. Yeah. I have to be really good. I have to be really good right now. I have to be really good right now. I have to be really good right now.
Yeah, that's the same.
If he sees you when you're sleeping, he knows how you're behaving right now. It's the same look.
It is. Last thing before we go, the Padres are going to retire their City Connects after this season. What? I mean, I know that means they're going to get new ones, but I'm worried because I don't think they can improve on them because we saw the White Sox did not improve on them.
Mm-mm.
So I'm nervous what we're going to get for the Padres next year. But man, PSA, if you haven't gotten your Padres City Connect jersey or hat yet, make it happen.
It's time.
Because it's not going to be around.
Right. And they're headed to the playoffs. Need to go spend some money on they restock a little bit before the season's over because they're going to head to the playoffs. Here's the other thing I wanted to say. I just had this visual and I decided to share it because I can. But you know when you eat something way too sweet and you get that little tickle like right behind your jaw, right where your tonsil is, and you're like, right? And you're like, oh, it's way too much. I have to drink water because I feel like my brain is going to implode in that spot, right? That's what it makes me feel. I have the same response to a team saying our really good City Connect uniforms are getting retired. They're probably going to get a new one. It's that same like, I'm choking on how rich this is.
Yeah.
Just stop.
I know. Not happy about it, but it's kind of exciting. The thrill of the reveal, Brig.
Yeah.
That's what
the unknown is fun. Yeah.
It is. Sometimes. Except for when you tell me you know something I don't know. Last thing today in baseball history.
I know something you don't know.
I know. I know you do.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
All right. Today in baseball history, last thing before we get out of here. August 12th, 2015. My Seattle Mariner pitcher, Hisashi Iwakuma, tosses a no-hitter as the M's blank the Baltimore Orioles 3-0. Kuma becomes just the second Japanese-born pitcher to throw a no-hitter behind only Hideo Nomo, who, by the way, Brig, had 2.
Good
for him. Showing up. But baseball family, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, we will be live Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you're on the YouTube machine, go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you have not already. If you've made it this far, then you might as well, because, you know, you're here.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And if you're listening, then thank you. We appreciate it. Leave reviews wherever you can and share with your friends as well. With that, we will catch you Thursday night.